Hey everybody, it's Lorenzo from GamesRadar.com, and I'm checking out Time and Eternity, and I'm here with...
My name is Phoenix Spalding with NIS America.
Awesome. So this is a new game coming out pretty soon, and can you tell us what's going on and what kind of, why does she have a gun and why is there a flying dragon right next to her?
So what's going on? Like I said, this is called Time and Eternity. It's an upcoming action RPG sort of game. You play as this group of characters. The girl you're looking at right now, her name is Toki, and she's a princess. And her mission right now is to find out who tried to kill her fiance. He's a knight, and they were just getting ready to get married, and on their wedding day, a bunch of assassins come out of nowhere and attack him, stab him in the stomach. He's bleeding out, and it turns out she can travel through time. And so they go back in time to sort of figure out what's been going on, and so you go back and you're looking to track down this group of assassins that is apparently responsible for it, and that's sort of what sets everything in motion. You also find out that she is actually home to a second soul named Toa, who will show up every once in a while to sort of help out with things. So she has a gun, and she also has a knife. So she's pretty set.
She's pretty lethal, huh? So this animation style looks pretty unique. I haven't really seen this kind of anime graphic before, so can you talk a little bit about the visual style?
Yeah, that's exactly what they were going for. This is developed in Japan by a company called Image Epoch, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to design something that looked completely different. It's actually not sprite-based, and it's not completely polygonal. It's all actually hand-drawn. They've been advertising it as sort of an animation RPG with the focus on sort of fluidity of the animation and sort of that sort of hand-drawn feel to it. So what you get is a feeling that's not quite sprite, it's not quite cel-shaded. It's something that hopefully people are really interested in, and something that they haven't really seen before.
Cool. So right now we're in a battle, or it looked like it was a random encounter battle. Can you talk a little bit about the combat system and how all that works?
Yeah, so it's mostly random encounters. There is a gauge. I'll point it out once we get out to the field, but it's mostly random battles. It's one-on-one fights between you and the enemy. It's all real time, so if I just stand here and don't do anything, this is early on in the game, so he's not too difficult, but I can just stand here and he'll smack me in the face if I don't do something. So it's all very based on timing. You can stand here again, so you can you dodge attacks, you can run in, you can dodge up here early, and so it's all based on sort of your timing and getting to understand enemy attacks and when they start their attack, when they finish their attack. So it's sort of like that, and then each battle, once you kill one enemy, there's a chance that another one might show up, and it sort of goes from there. And you can see up in the upper right-hand corner there, you can set different skills that, in addition to your standard attack, you can get different magic attacks, sword attacks, rifle attacks. There's support skills, healing skills, all that sort of stuff that you can use as you're playing.
So will you use some kind of progression system to get all those extra skills and maybe weapons and armor, and that was all that in here?
Yeah, absolutely. The skills work. It's your pretty straightforward RPG sort of system. Hold on, let me see where I'm going here real quick. I got a long way to go. Let me get moving. Pretty standard progression. As you level up, there are two characters, and I'm hoping I'll level up with this one soon so you can see the transformation. But both of your characters, both girls, will earn XP at the same time. And there's basically it's what's called a gift system, and you'll buy new abilities, and then once they reach the proper level to use them, they'll become unlocked, and you can assign them and use them there. And depending on which girl you have out for you, their progression will be different. So she might, Toki might learn a fire spell earlier than Toa. Toa might learn a nice physical, sword attack skill earlier than Toki. So depending on who you have out, your battle approach is going to have to change a little bit.
So when you play as the other character, is it either or character? It's always a one-on-one battle, or will there be group combat?
It's always either or. So basically, what happens? Oh, here's a little tutorial thing. So you can. So one neat thing is when you're playing, you can rush up to the enemy, but if you do that, you have to be careful because a lot of them have attacks that will push you back if you're not careful. But no, it's always either or. You will either be this girl Toki or Toa. And early on in the game, the way that it works is as you level up, so she's level, I believe, 6 right now. Once she hits 7, she'll actually transform into Toa automatically. And then once you hit level 8, Toa will turn back into Toki. Later on in the game, you'll be able to get items that will let you change when you want. But once you enter a battle, it's going to be that character. And you'll notice you have a little dragon buddy who he'll do some healing skills and he'll do some, okay, here we go. So you see they leveled up. So Toki learned 1 skill, and then Toa learned a couple skills of her own. And then you have your little dragon buddy who right here just learned a new, basically ice attack. And then it'll come out, and she'll switch to her other side. And so now you're Toa. And so now you'll fight as Toa. Their stats and everything are pretty similar, but Toa's better with melee skills, and she's focused more on melee attacks and sort of absorbing damage, whereas Toki is more of a ranged fighter with more of a sort of a magical focus. But yeah, so you can, when you level up, you'll earn points to unlock gifts, to unlock skills, and those are, each girl has her own pool of those, so you don't have to decide like, oh, do I want to teach Toki this or do I want to teach Toa that? You'll level them up sort of independently of each other.
Can you talk a little bit more about the setting? This doesn't look like it's on planet Earth or anything like that. Can you talk about like the world and what the environment's like?
Yeah, sure. So the basic setting is sort of a alternate history, sort of a 1800s era, sort of, let's say, European villa sort of feel. But obviously they've sort of incorporated guns, and they've incorporated maybe clothing styles that aren't completely accurate to that era. So it's just sort of a mixture of those different eras. The way that they speak and the way that they talk about things is all very modern and very straightforward. So the actual place is called Kamsa. It's a sort of a local smaller kingdom, and the focus is sort of more on the people and the characters rather than a big grand setting. So the story is sort of focused in this very localized area so that you can focus more on the characters and the personal relationships between her and her husband, who I didn't mention is actually reincarnated into that dragon. So they sort of limited the scope of the world so that they could focus more on those smaller things. And what you see here is a sort of a standard sort of grassy field with ruins and things. You will visit a number of different areas throughout the game. You'll go into dark mountains and haunted forests, and you'll meet a bunch of very sort of interesting side characters and different things like that. So we're actually coming up on our first boss battle, which is with a robot who belongs to the Assassin's Guild, who you suspect is the ones that plan the attack on your wedding. So you're going to him to sort of find out what's been going on.
How does the game tell the story? Will it be through cutscenes or just other dialogue between characters?
That part's actually kind of interesting. A lot of it does happen through cutscenes. A lot of it happens. You have a home base. You have it's your house in Kamsa, and between each major mission, you'll actually sort of go back home and review what you've learned and figure out what's going on. A lot of the story is also actually told out in the field. As you're running around through different dungeons, your main characters will sort of banter back and forth and talk about what they've seen and talk about, shouldn't use that, that wasn't really they'll talk about, what's coming up and how they feel and everything. So if you actually are rushing through these areas and not paying a lot of attention, you might miss some of those side things. And also, one other interesting thing is that when you go into these main story boss battles, you'll actually have dialogue with the enemy while you're in battle. So you're giving it commands and you're dodging and you're moving around, and then while you're doing that, you're having that dialogue with the enemy, sort of revealing story in the middle of this battle. So it's kind of interesting. So just real quick, we'll go into this battle here.
Whoa! What the heck are you?
You must be one of the assassins.
Is it human? No, it's a machine.
Enemy detected. Elimination protocol Gamma activated.
And so you can see there's not a lot of necessarily motion or 3D, a lot of things going on with the characters movement-wise, but it's just very sort of focused on that style and that sort of flow. Oh, I'm gonna do that with this guy. And so yeah, so you see every and again, this is kind of early in the game, so their patterns are not too difficult, but every enemy has these sort of attacks that are designed that if you are just sort of mashing the attack buttons, you're gonna get sort of hammered pretty quick. And if you're not paying attention, like I just wasn't, it's a balance of dodging, blocking, and then attacking when the moment's right. If you press in on the right stick, you can actually change the amount of information that's displayed on your screen. So if you're finding that you're having a little bit of an easy time with the gameplay, you can just turn everything off. And you have to remember, you have to remember what skills you had assigned where and all that stuff. If you're struggling a little, you can actually turn everything on, and you can see, if they have an attack that takes a certain amount of time, it'll show how long it's going to take. It'll show what he's about to do next. So you can kind of tailor the fighting to whatever level of skill you want to give yourself.
You talked a little bit about the little dragon partner guy. Is there any way to control him, or is he just like automatic? Like he does all of his skills automatically?
So for him, he will act automatically in battle, and he'll heal you if you really need healing. He'll do other things. What you can do is... hold on. So at certain points in the game, you can actually do what's called a final attack chance, and if you fought an enemy in a certain way and got him down to a certain health, you can do those neat little extra things. But yeah, so the dragon you can give indirect commands, sort of just give him like, I want you to heal me, I want you to focus on attacking, I want you to use fire magic, but he'll select his skills and do his thing. And he can also be knocked out in battle. He can be targeted by the enemy, and he can suffer from group attacks. So you definitely have to watch him, but he will do his thing and you'll do your thing. Even though in the story-wise, you are actually mostly looking at it from the viewpoint of the dragon, which is the physical form of the husband. But once you're actually in battle, you're focused on the Toki or Toa's point of view.
Cool. So when can we expect to play this in the U.S. and for what platform?
So this will be coming out on PlayStation 3, and we're expecting it to come out in the States this July.
Awesome. For more information on Time and Eternity, make sure you check out GamesRadar.com.
Oh, Santa Maria! Your bite is like living iron. But no matter. For today, I have made an oath to make an oath to you.